Hey troops, GeneralJSmith here, back with another showcase. This time I am back with my showcase of Clone Army Customs Commander Wolffe. For those of you who saw my recent video when I did my showcase of Commander Cody, you will know that I recently made quite a large purchase from a third market seller known as Clone Army Customs, who, as you may tell from the name, sells custom clones and other minifigures. Now, I recently made a video about me unboxing these minifigures that you can check down below in the description. At the end of that video, which by the way was a joke, if you watched the video you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, at the end of that video, I said there are 3 minifigures I wanted to get, but unfortunately they were not in stock at the time. One of them was of course Commander Wolffe, another one was Commander Bly, and the other one was Commander Neo. Now I bought him and Bly. I'll go into why I didn't buy Neo another point. Anyway, so I'm very grateful because in actual fact, Tyler, the owner, actually responded to that video in the comment section saying that Phase 1 troopers and other troopers would be available soon. So I'm very grateful to Tyler for bringing it back in stock because this would be very helpful in stop motion, yeah, and mocks I'll be doing in the future. Anyway, also for those of you who watched my last video, you'll notice the background is different. That's because, and that is also partially the reason that this video took so long to make, because for the life of me, I could not get the bloody green screen to work. I have no idea what the problem is. It just looks so terrible. Far worse than the Commander Cody showcase did. So, I mean, I don't know, I know it may be a bit boring, but this is the best you got. I guess, you know, meant to be looking at the minifigure anyway, more specifically anyway, so let's just get into the minifigure now. Commander Wolffe, or CC3636, was the leader of the 104th Wolffe Pack Battalion, which was also under the leadership of Plo Koon. This is by far one of the most popular clone battalions, mostly because Commander Wolffe was a very prominent clone trooper in the Clone Wars, probably only second to maybe the 212th and the 501st. Now, I think this is mostly down to not just the fact we saw her a lot in the Clone Wars, but also the fact that Plo Koon was also a Jedi seen a lot in the Clone Wars, and the fact he is a very unique looking clone. While of course a lot of the clones have their own specific markings, their own details, generally speaking a lot of the clones do look fairly similar, other than a lot of the Recon clones, such as Commander Wolffe here, who has this specific visor very similar to Commander Neo. Now, to give you an idea of how expensive and how much this guy is wanted, the Lego version of this goes for a lot. Compared to, like, say, some other Lego versions of Rex or Cody or whatever, this definitely goes for the most on eBay. So that gives you a sort of idea of how many people want this minifigure. He's very popular and a very nice minifigure. I will say, I just want to clarify right now, I'll talk about this more when I do the helmet, but this, what's it called, rangefinder right here, this is an add-on I put on myself, because it turns out you cannot, well, you can buy rangefinders separately on on the site, but they do not come as standard with this minifigure. In fact, you can't even buy them as standard with this minifigure, in terms of, like, there are many attachments you can have. You can have a sun visor in different colors, but you can't buy a rangefinder, which I find a bit odd, because it's kind of, you know, part of his look, so I think it's a bit weird, but nonetheless, you can buy it separately. I guess you just have to remember, which unfortunately I didn't, so you can just add it on. And while I don't think it's as good as Clone Army Customs, it's still, you know, it looks decent enough, I guess. Nonetheless, he's a very nice minifigure, and let's go into more specifically now. Let's go into the legs. Now, you may remember in my review of Clone Army Customs Commander Cody, I said one of the cons was the fact that he didn't have printing going all around his legs, which is one of the reasons I thought that minifigure was fairly old. This is kind of what I was talking about. Commander Wolffe here does have printing going all around his legs, and it is very nice, can I say. A vast improvement on Legos, although saying that, Lego's minifigure was also pretty nice, so, you know. Anyway, so, you can see here, of course, we've got the kind of, if you will, rocky, I don't really know how to describe it, but kind of the rocky type detailing here. Very nice. You notice I got this particular, I'm not sure this is canon, maybe it isn't or it isn't, but it did have the option of putting the waist cape with the Wolffe Pack symbol on it, and I decided I'm going to go for that because I think it looks just badass in all honesty. But yeah, of course, as with all clone troopers, they have, you know, pretty standard armor. It's just the actual printing, the colors that separate them. So you can see the black lines there meant to represent the belt and all that kind of stuff. But overall, very nice. The waist cape, as I said, just looking at more detail, is a very nice waist cape in my opinion. Just moving the arm out of the way a little. It does wrap around very nicely. I will say one thing, not just about this minifigure, but about some others which I bought from Clone Army Customs. They seem to weather quite quickly. I mean, you know, it's a very minor thing you can see there, but it is slightly weathered, and I haven't really been doing anything with it. In fact, I haven't literally touched them, basically, since I got them out of the package. I haven't had a reason to. So I don't entirely understand why they're a bit weathered, but I mean, I guess it's just sort of handling them, I suppose. I don't really know. But yes, that's just a little thing I will say. Although they do feel pretty much exactly the same as Lego, so I don't entirely know what that's about. Anyway though, the printing is very nice then on the legs, not really anything to complain about. As you can see, wraps around there, very, very nicely. I wish they do that on all minifigures, although of course some minifigures don't have printing that wraps all the way around. It's just pretty boring. So I'm glad they did it with Wolffe, but nonetheless, there we go. Moving now on to the torso. The printing on the torso is fairly basic, but of course, as I've said many times before, there isn't a mass amount Clone Customs could have done. Still very, very nice. Comparing it to Legos, you can see it is actually quite similar on the fact this one is far more cartoonish, of course, because it's based off the actual cartoon and is meant to look more cartoonish. So I would say I prefer that one. As with all Clone Custom minifigures, I would say the big plus is the arm printing, which I think is very, very nice. As you can see, the Wolfpack symbol on the arm there. The detailing is very, very nice, immaculate. In fact, there are even a few little details you can't even really see that well on the camera. So very, very nice. I'm glad they added it. As I said in my in my Commander Cody review, a com link on the arm would be nice, but you know, it's not the biggest deal. You see, actually, it's slightly different on this arm than the other arm. This arm has the Rebel, sorry, not the Rebel, the Wolfpack symbol. This one is kind of just, I don't know what to call it, almost like a sun type symbol. Don't really know. On the back is also fairly basic, but you know, just the same sort of printing there. I will say one benefit to Clone Customs rather than Lego, this isn't much on the torso, more on the legs, but you know, also on the torso slightly, is the fact that on Lego, you may notice, looking specifically at the legs, you can see there, these are meant to be white, you can see, but because they try to put blue on top of white, or I think it's what they're trying to do, I'm not entirely sure, no, I'm pretty sure from the legs, they've tried to put white on top of blue. It hasn't really worked entirely well because it's sort of turned out like it's not fully white, whereas, you know, on Clone Customs they've done it properly. So, yeah, the printing on the arms, very, very nice then. I'm a big fan of it, of course I am. That is with a lot of Clone Customs minifigures, as I've said in the past, because, of course, that's one thing Lego very rarely does. If they do it, then it's only very recent, and it's not as good as Clone Customs, so that is a plus. I would definitely say that's definitely a big reason to get these sort of minifigures, because they do come with more detailing all around, more like a 360 type thing, rather than a Lego. You may just get, like, torso and leg printing if you're lucky. So, there you have it. Let's now move on to, in my opinion, the best part of any minifigure, the helmet. Commander Wolffe definitely has one of the most unique and valuable helmets in the Lego Star Wars universe, mostly because it is so unique and really is not like many other helmets we've had before. Most Clone Trooper helmets, again, as I've said in the past, while, you know, they may have different printing and different markings, such as different colors, overall they are fairly similar, you know, with a sort of visor and mouthpiece and that kind of stuff. This, however, as with many Recon clones, is significantly different. The closest one we've seen to this would be, say, Lego's version in the Battle on Seleucumai set, but that is nowhere near the same sort of standard, and really there is no one else is quite like Commander Wolffe. Now in my opinion, as I've said, the helmet definitely makes a minifigure more than most things, and that is the reason I wanted this minifigure more than most, because it is just so unique and there really isn't much you can do to try and replicate Commander Wolffe's helmet. Overall then, the printing is great. The back isn't too detailed, but again, nothing much you can do there, but apart from that, it's just unbelievably detailed, and I'm saying that it's a very, very, very nice helmet. As I've said a few times before, this is by far one of my favorite helmets. It is absolutely up there with the best ones. Just incredible in every way. Of course, you've got the kind of Recon T visor there. Very nice, rocking that. You got the Wolfpack sort of symbols, you know, the kind of daggers and the triangles and all that type of stuff there. Very, very nice. But yeah, there's not much to say other than the fact it's just a very, very nice helmet. It is slightly different in terms of not just like, of course, you know, the actual printing, but the actual mold itself is different. Comparing it to, say, I'm trying to pick one up. Comparing it to, say, Commander Fox, you can see it's like different. He's got more breathing pieces there that kind of come out where he's got the kind of thing in the middle. I suppose I would say this looks somewhat more similar to a Stormtrooper in terms of the mouthpiece, but I mean, that's just me. I might be completely wrong. Feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comments. But yeah, so the visor then, and of course all that, very, very nice. Yeah, really not much to say, just it's a very, very nice helmet. As I said in the beginning, by the way, this is a rangefinder that is not found on this minifigure. I think you can find it separately on the site, but you can't even get it with the minifigure. It doesn't give you option, because it normally gives you options saying, hey, you want this T-visor, do you want this to come with it, and all that stuff. Unfortunately, you can't get the option of that, which, you know, it's not the biggest deal. If you're a member, then it's all well and good, you can just buy it separately, but I do think it's a bit odd they don't give you the option to give you this, because, you know, it's his signature sort of thing, similar to Captain Rex. So, yeah, but nonetheless, very, very nice minifigure. I'm very glad I bought him. Let's just now go into the conclusion, and I'll just give you my final thoughts on Clone Customs Commander Wolffe. So thank you for watching my showcase of Clone Army Customs Commander Wolffe. Definitely one of the best clone troopers in my personal opinion. Probably only second to Captain Rex, Fives, I don't know, maybe a few others, I can't entirely remember. But definitely up there with some of the best, and I would highly recommend trying to pick one up if you can. Now, it is clear that a lot of people do love Commander Wolffe because, of course, this minifigure and the Lego version go for a lot on eBay and Bricklink. Like, seriously, kind of ridiculous amounts. And in fact, I would recommend this minifigure because even if the price is a bit steep for some people, mostly because this minifigure, if you do not have him, he came in the Republic Frigate and that's it. If you don't have him, you might as well buy this guy. This guy is pretty much the same sort of price. It's just unreal. On Bricklink, I believe this goes for £20 or more, and that's, of course, from a different country. Like, if you live in the UK like me, then you have to pay postage as well. And on eBay, I think it's only a tiny bit cheaper than this minifigure, so I don't even know, maybe £25, I don't even know, maybe like £15 or something. The cheapest you'll definitely find in decent condition is £15, and that is it. You know, even that'll be a bit of a stretch. But nonetheless, so yeah, you might as well buy this guy more or less just because if you don't have him, he's almost definitely the same price. And you get like extra stuff with him, and of course he has Phase 2, which is also very, very nice as well. But yeah, overall then, a very nice addition. I'm glad I bought him, and I am very glad that I waited to buy him as well. Overall, Clone Army Customs, you did a good, very fantastic job on this minifigure. Definitely one of the best you've made. I'm not entirely sure how new this minifigure is. He seems relatively new. But yeah, really, that is it. I would recommend you pick him up if you can. If you can only afford a few minifigures, then I'd probably recommend him. Maybe Captain Rex if you don't have him. Maybe Commander Fox, I do like him, and Commander Cody and a few others. Maybe, I'm not entirely sure. It really depends what you want. But he's definitely up there with one of the ones I would recommend if you are curious. Definitely a good addition to anyone's clone army. Very, 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 very nice. Yeah, that is it then to my showcase. I hope you did enjoy it. The next one, which I showed you previously, actually will be Commander Fox, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully it won't be like another 2 weeks until I do it. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time with another showcase. Bye, troops. This helmet, I think, is mostly, oh god, definitely one of the most unique and classic, stop saying classic.